Hi, I'm Gloria, and I know I upload a bunch of random things to this channel, and to add even more to the chaos, I'm creating a new series about climbing in Valorant. I've played Valorant for about 3 years on and off, and although I have over 700 freaking hours on this game, I haven't put a lot of effort into actually trying to learn the game and to learn to be a better player. My goals for this series are to, number one, apply a growth mindset to Valorant, and to see how far it can take me. I'm honestly hoping to get to Ascendant if we're talking about a rank, and I'm currently plat right now. Number two, I want to have something to look forward to in life. I'm laid off right now, and I felt immensely unmotivated until I decided that I wanted to grind Valorant. The other day, my good friend coincidentally randomly sent me this quote, and I feel like this is exactly me right now. Researchers have found that intense engagement in and commitment to an activity is a proven route to happiness and well-being. This week's video is going to be a bit of a mess because I was both creating a concept for how to document this series while also trying to grind before the act ended, but I promise the series will only get better. So in service of having a growth mindset, I love to start with the questions like, what's the problem I'm trying to solve? And how can I experiment with different methods to help solve that problem? A lot of the habits I'm introducing are in service of these questions, and eventually I'll have a better and optimized system, but we're currently in the prototyping phase for now, so it's not perfect, but it'll get better. So here are all the new habits that I wanted to implement every day of the week. Number one, starting with aim training. This one feels like a no-brainer to me. I have pretty inconsistent aim and really struggle with my micro adjustments. I also panic a lot in game. I notice when I'm aim training consistently, I'm able to more calmly shoot people's heads. Second on here is meditation. I have an anxious mind, so just as important it is to train my aim, I think it's equally important to train my mind to be calm, especially in chaotic situations. I also want to be able to increase my focus in games so I'm not distracted by my teammates who don't calm or cannot smoke properly. Third, entry and retake pathing. When I see an enemy or I feel like the situation is chaotic, my pathing gets all funky and I don't clear enemies properly. So I thought I'd practice entry pathing so that I can have that on autopilot, which would give my brain more space to think about other things. Fourth on here is play comp games. I'm gonna try to play 3 to 4 comp games each day, but really try hard not to play if I feel too tired or out of it. That's the hard part. I can see my brain deteriorate after the 4th comp game, so it's just not worth it to play another one. And lastly, and most importantly, Vod reviewing. I added this later in the week after seeing a Dopai video about ranking up, and in hindsight, this is like seriously one of the most important things. I want to be able to reflect on my mistakes, increase my awareness of the game, and be able to understand any patterns I have that pretty much make me lose games. So ideally, I'll implement these habits every day and see how they helped or didn't help and kind of experiment with different things to help me rank up. Okay, so after a week break over the holidays, I was pretty excited about this new approach. On Monday, despite the excitement, it was pretty hard for me to focus on aim training, and my mind felt so chaotic while meditating for only 5 minutes. I pretty much checked off everything that I set out to do that day and decided to practice my entry and retake pathing on split. The biggest thing I got out of this session is where to expect enemies to be when entering sight. I realized my crosshair placement wasn't even that good when I was practicing, so it was actually helpful for me to record this practice and watch myself clear sight and then learn from how I can improve. On Tuesday, I made some changes. I took out my dust mat that was underneath my mouse pad. I'm not sure why I didn't think to do this before, but my boyfriend suggested it, and it has a way smoother feel. It feels a lot more consistent because I can't press down, like it's not as squishy when I use my mouse. I also decided to lower my sensitivity to 0.27 from 0.29. It just felt a little too fast. And lastly, I decided to try team deathmatching for 30 minutes before comp and then do the rest of the 30 minutes after because I got a little too tired from team deathmatching for an hour before playing comp. I just don't know if that was the right way to go. On Wednesday, I honestly wasn't expecting much because we went out pretty late the night before to see Porter Robinson for New Year's, but I ended up playing pretty decently with 2 green tracker scores. Let's go. I also did my first Vod review, and these were my takeaways. At the beginning of each round, take note of enemy util. This way I can position myself differently or play differently depending on the util. Like in this clip, I could have anticipated there being a Yoru clone and then I would have been way more prepped not to shoot the clone. I was flashed but pretty much useless. I baited my Reyna for what felt like the longest time, but if I was just ready for that Yoru clone, I would not have shot it. And also, I could have anticipated any sort of flash and positioned myself differently so that I could actually trade my teammate and not bait them. Watching this clip was really painful. I could have anticipated the Yoru to flash inside the smoke and try to swing him instead of him flashing me and swinging me. So yeah, I think if at the beginning of each round I just take note of enemy util, I would have been way more prepared and positioned myself differently in both of these situations. The other takeaway I got from this VOD review session was when clutching and defusing the bomb, try to fake the defuse and swing wide to catch the enemy off guard. I don't know why, but I just like tend to hold the bomb as if like no one's gonna try to kill me while defusing the bomb. It works like 15% of the time, and I just hang on to that. But in reality, I need to try something different. My third takeaway is don't freaking one-way myself when defusing the bomb. Oh my gosh. I did this like 2 times last week. I don't know how. Well, I get how, but so crazy. I just do not put a smoke on an elevated box while I'm trying to defuse the bomb on the bomb. On Thursday, I checked off all of the things except for my entry and retake pathing practice. Oh, one thing I did in this game, I tried out these angles as clove to see like if I can get a pick, and I don't know, I feel like the enemies were bad, but I am curious if they'll work again in the future, so I'm curious to try it out. We'll see. I also messed up these defuse situations. In this clip, I should have expected the enemy jet to have time to go top gen and drop behind us, and in this clip, I should have looked at the minimap when I was in cover and pre-aim this angle. After my ult, I could have tapped the bomb and held the jet who would need to swing me because I tapped the bomb. Experiencing these situations and looking at the VOD again actually helped me in a future situation, but you won't see that until the following week. On Friday, my boyfriend Tam helped me with entry and retake pathing on split as jet. For A site, the general idea is to smoke dash to this point and then clear left for my team so that my team only has to look to the right when entering on site, and I just need to remember to calm, hey, left is clear, left is clear. Then I hold elbow in case someone swings out, and as my team gets on site, then I can pinch the guy elbow if there is one. Sam said this angle is really good because people usually aren't expecting a crouched person and are usually trying to swing to get a pick on people who are main or like kind of running out of main. So yeah, and it worked later on. You'll see next week. On B side, the idea was to smoke dash on top of this little box thingy and clear left side, calm to my teammate that left is cleared or there's a person there, and then throw another smoke on the floor to safely get to back site. Wow, looking back on this now, I really sucked at doing it. I practiced again later though, and it looks a lot smoother. You'll also see that next week. At the end of Friday night, Tam and I just wanted to have fun, so we decided to drink while alternating on my alt account. So he would play 3 rounds, and then I would play 3 rounds, and vice versa. And I'm telling you all this because as he was playing, he noticed that I was playing on 60 FPS. 60 FPS this whole freaking time. Ever since like I started playing Valorant again a few months ago, it's been like this. Oh my gosh. I was like mind blown. So my monitor is capable of 240 Hertz. I don't know how to explain any of this, but whatever. I thought I was lagging this whole time. He also noticed that my desk was literally slanted by 2 degrees, and honestly, that was a way bigger problem than I had thought. Saturday is the day I became a new human. Tam changed my monitor settings to 240 Hertz the night before, and then he also adjusted my desk to be not slanted. It was actually just freaking straight or whatever. Not slanted, and oh my gosh, it felt like, yeah, the 240 Hertz was like, I felt like I got a new computer. Like everything felt so fast. Yeah, the thing I was surprised about the most was how much the desk slant affected my aim. It's so silly looking back on it now, but when my desk was slanted, I was literally like lightly hovering my forearm while I aimed because it felt so unnatural to rest my forearm on my desk. I'm not gonna lie, while I was hovering my forearm, I thought I unlocked this new aiming style, but in reality, my desk was just slanted and I was desperately trying to like adjust to the slant without even realizing it. The last adjustment that was made this day was that Tam also swapped my slower mouse gates for faster mouse gates for me to try out, and I really liked the overall feel and smoothness, so I decided to keep them on. Yeah, Saturday was a day of a lot of changes. 3 adjustments that were pretty freaking significant in impacting my performance, so I spent the rest of the day calibrating to my new changes and decided to try a different and more general aim training routine called the ramp instead of the micro adjustments tracking focused one. I thought this would help me calibrate a little better, so I decided to stick with that. And wow, we made it to the end of the week! Honestly, I wasn't as consistent as I would have liked, but it was New Year's and I did a bunch of New Year's cleaning and stuff and went to the gym, so I'm so happy with the progress I made. Something is better than nothing! Overall, I'm pretty excited about this new structure and approach to Valorant because it's honestly just fun for me to like intensely focus and prioritize something in life. I can already feel my game sense improving after just 1 week of VOD reviewing a few times, and I keep imagining like where I'll be in 3 months just from applying these habits. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So, okay, thanks for watching. I'll have our learnings and updates in the next video. Okay, bye!